And there he is, at the top left of Calm Before the Storm. The last hope for ZeNEX. It is none other than our Zerg player.
ZeNEX, Leipe!
He's the ace. Let ZeNEX head up their sleeves. Let's have a quick look at the bottom left, though. We have the last Terran player for oGs-TL. STC Nada and Finn couldn't beat Extreme. He was able to do it. And now he's facing live in the last match of the day. It is
oGs-TL, Supernova!
I love the sign that you're going to see in a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about puns, that's the best that we've heard today. Sorry, Moletrap. Go, go, Supernova. It's time to end ZeNEX's life.
I like it. I approve.
Moletrap approves.
Moletrap approved pun. Wow. So yeah, it's all up to Life right here. Life doesn't have the best record versus other Terran players. In fact, he's lost most of his recent games against Terrans. But
he was by far the best player in the lineup of the best player left in the lineup of ZeNEX.
That's for sure.
And once again,
as far as we know.
And once again on Calm Before the Storm, we have a command center first for the Terran, so he's going for some kind of greedy build. And I'm a little bit weirded out by the placement of ZeNEX Life's hatchery. He's taking the hatch in the main base. Usually you build the hatch at the third base position so you can get the creep spread to the ramp.
Interesting. Well, he might be worried about some kind of shenanigans. He might be worried about Supernova trying to clinch things with a pressure build.
Yeah, but it doesn't change a thing. You build the hatch at the front so that have you the creep spread. It's very easy to connect the two bases with the creep, and you can actually block the ramp with queens, which you can't when you have no creep in the direction.
Well, I guess that's true. I just meant he might be worried about having his expansion in a place closer to the Terran. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I'm not sure either.
So, well, let's see how that's going to work out for our Zerg player. We have, the scouting with the SV. For a second, I thought he would retreat upon scouting the main base, but he makes sure that there is another base for ZeNEX Life. Everything else would have been really, really weird. We have speed already, and once again, I'm not too happy with too early speed on Calm Before the Storm, because there is no aggression going on whatsoever. You always have that second base for the Terran. It helps, of course, in order to deal with incoming Hellion attacks, but you don't need it that fast, so you can rely a little bit strong onto your mineral income before you go to get the extractor.
I get the feeling that he's playing scared, basically, for both these things. And actually a Roach Ward going down. Interesting. He is going to go for some pressure. He's put one drone back on gas. He shoved that one drone on gas, but he's probably going to put more back on gas once this Roach Warren pops out, so he can... Oh, he already put him on there.
There's two, and two...
Only two on gas. Interesting. Well, maybe he has something planned out where he gets a certain amount of roaches, enough gas for, exactly 4 roaches, or something like that, and follows up with speedlings. That might be his plan of attack. He's got this really precise. You can tell he only made 2 Zerglings at the beginning, not 4, just because he really wanted to get as many drones in as possible before activating this.
You can block the ramp with 3 roaches. That might be what he tries to do, but he's building
getting another base. He's hiding an expansion on the right side of the map.
If he gets another roach, he can at least try to block the ramp.
Yeah.
So the Hellions won't be able to get into the main base.
Maybe this is his plan all along.
Might be.
Block the ramp with 3 or 4 roaches and then take a secret expansion.
Well, he needs the 3rd one, though. You can't block with 2, can you?
He might if he spaced them out a little bit differently.
Oh, well,
Anyway, he doesn't want to try it anyways because he could easily just lose some Hellions for no reason if he tries to break up that. He doesn't know exactly what's there.
I was actually thinking about blocking against Zerglings.
Yeah, that could work too.
That's the 3rd one.
He might be in mind with you. He's making a few more Zerglings now, and there's that 3rd roach for you. And roach attack upgrade being upgraded. So this is really interesting. We've seen some stuff like this before I wonder if he's going to go for like the roach drop strategy that we've seen before, where you get upgraded roaches, and then once you get your lair, you get drop and overlord speed, and then you drop roaches all over their tanks or something like that.
I've seen a couple of times on Antigua, and if it surprises your opponent, it works quite well.
Yeah.
But trying to flank the Hellions with the Zerglings. Nah, it's just backing off. You realize there are too many Hellions right now. The Banshee is on its way. And
Cloak is almost done too.
Oh!
And he's gonna find... Wait.
Yeah, he's gonna find it.
Oh, yes, he's sent an SCV down there to scout for hidden bases.
And he finds one.
That sucks for life.
Yep. That definitely sucks. He has no chance of saving this suspension. None whatsoever. Even if he gets all his links and roaches over, he doesn't have anti-air.
Yeah. And he's actually just sent the Hellions over there to kill the drones.
That's all he needs to do.
And he can probably just leave one.
And besides this fact that he is done amazing when it comes down to scouting, we had OGS Supernova with a standard play, gets an early third base against the Zerg player. Wow, we have a Hydra dead against
What?
I mean, in case you guys don't know, Hydras suck against Terran.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to be okay against Banshees, but not against anything else. Usually you just see them get Queens to deal with Banshees and Spore Crawlers.
As soon as there are tanks, you're doomed. So, yeah, definitely going for some kind of all-English build.
This is really crazy. And, yeah, I mean, he's getting +2 attack for his ranged units as well, so this is definitely some kind of crazy plan that he has, that he's planned out. Because this seems like a very specific strategy. He cannot just be winging this.
He must be aiming for some kind of timing.
Yeah, that must be it. He's gonna go for like
infestation.
Well, now he's getting an infestation pit. We're completely boggled here, ladies and gentlemen. I am not exactly sure what the plan is. I have not seen this before. Either this is gonna fail and we're gonna be like, what was he doing? Or this is gonna work and we're going to be like, wow, he's a genius, but I'm not sure which direction it's going to go.
I've never ever seen this before.
No, me neither. Never. I've never even seen any Zerg builds close to this against Terran. Oh, Spore Crawler does manage to pick off one of those Banshees. He ceased Banshee production. So.
He actually defended the base to the right, by the way. So
oh, wow.
Just to throw it out there, he's not going to build too many drones now because he knows that it will be really hard to defend it. And there's already a drop coming away of the third base, but still it's alive up to this point.
Yeah, that's interesting. A couple roaches and a Spore Crawler and a Queen that died in the process were able to save that.
Lynx, Hydras in the back.
Wait, is he?
Siege tank?
He's making a second infestation pit.
Yeah, he's making a second.
Does he want to upgrade pathogen glands and neural parasite at the same time? What is going on here, Keldor?
And now he's going for drop. That would have made sense earlier if he would have just used this drop ability and tried to get the roach infested in the main base. That would have at least made a little bit of sense, but what he's doing right now is just completely... I don't get his overall plan. That's my problem. Spine Crawler dies, the Spore Crawler
yeah, that base is finally going to die, but... unless these roaches and one Hydra have something to say about it.
144 supply against 128.
No, it was just a mistake to make that second infestation pit.
Yeah, the second infestation pit wasn't a mistake, of course, but the question is, why is he's just now getting the drop ability, so he must really aim for some kind of drop into the main base with Hydra, Roach, and a bunch of infestors. But this is a really, really weird build that he's using right now. We have a ton of minerals being saved up for OGS, the Supernova, by the way.
Interesting. He's already got 3 bases, so dropping them mules, he can easily get a lot of minerals in the bank. Starting to produce some more production facilities, like another couple racks and a factory that's good, so he can spend that money.
Third base, the fourth base is still alive.
So he's got Roach, Ling, and Fester Hydra going on here.
The siege tech is done, ladies and gentlemen. The double drop is ready to give another go at the expansion. And there's the drop play. There are the overlords finally starting to drop. That's enough Marines to take down the expansion. Does he have enough to defend his main base? No, this is what it comes down to. A Nidus network is being built. He needs to win with this attack. Is there any defense in the back of his base?
His whole army's in the middle of the map. Everything gets dropped in the back here, and he's got Hydras to attack the floating buildings. There are tanks though, so he can just siege up on the high ground and save his expansion pretty easily. That's what he's going to do here. But a fungal growth on a lot of the SCV, I'm sorry, a lot of the Marines that came back. The second fungal didn't go off though.
The Medivacs are out a little bit of position. He was able to deny that base for a while, and he killed in his 4 SCVs. 4 SCVs are dead, 3 base against 3 though. Double expansion now coming up for OGS Supernova. He already has one to the right side of the map. And I don't know, switching into Lair now, going for the Hive tech. He's maxed out already. OGS Supernova on 170 supply, 1,400 minerals, getting a 4th base, as I already mentioned.
And that sensor tower gets up just a little bit too late to actually be worth it, because now there's units dropping in there. Infested Terrans dropping down. Overlord's trying to drop in the midst of those tanks, but the Marines force them out. And yeah, he just picks up and leaves again. So just loses some energy and maybe a couple roaches, but nothing too big. Oh, nice.
Supply block. Oh, a lot of these Overlords die.
Wow.
The problem is he dealt a bit of damage, but
that's 600 minerals he didn't want to spend.
But the army composition is just horrible for the later stages of the game.
And
you can't use Hydras. The roaches will be in a lot of trouble because of the siege tanks. And another drop at the top is taking down another base. Well, not taking down the base, but at least killing the few units.
This is crazy. This is like a completely new style of Zerg versus Terran, and we're not sure how effective it's going to be yet. It looks like he is going to barely save this base over here, but he got, again, you can tell this is something he planned though. The Hive and the Spire finished at the exact same time, so he could get Greater Spire. He's now getting Greater Spire and 10 Corruptors. This is something, a transition that he seems to have planned out. This is insane, but we do have Supernova on the map with a very nice army, a lot of tanks in the army, a lot of Marines, which is going to be good against those roaches, but Infestors could turn the tide if they get some good fungals off. A little bit of attack going down here, Infestors in the back as well.
If Supernova attacks, he should be able to crush this. The Greater Spire is not done just yet. We have a lot of Corruptors floating in the air, 10 of them. That's a lot of supply he can't use right now.
Yeah, and he's saving that supply. He's not building. He's not building other units right now because he wants to save it.
He can kill the Medivacs.
For the Broodlords.
Can kill the Medivacs with it, but the 3rd base and the 4th base is dying.
Oh! So just lost the full energy Fester because he A-moved it in with the rest of his army.
Supernova is a turret supply. That's more like a new way of dying, to be honest.
Yeah, well, he's not dead yet. But
no, not yet.
But yeah, this is not looking good at all. The Broodlords are morphing. Those Broodlords are his last hope. He needs to defend this and push back with those Broodlords, and he is going to lose. He's on 3 bases, now 2 bases. Supernova has 4.
He has a 3rd to the bottom right, a hidden one that he can't use.
Oh, you're right, he does have a 3rd base down there.
The Broodlords are getting more. 3 upgrades very soon though for Supernova, and
don't go in yet, wait for the Broodlords.
He has nothing to counter them though.
That's true, he doesn't have anything to deal with the Broodlords. Well, if he sent in his Marines, there's only 1 Infestor there, so 2 fungal growths. Oh, a huge drop going to the main. The Broodlords are so slow. They're not going to be able to get back into the main to defend this. And he actually just isn't dealing with that drop in his 3rd either.
The main, one of the problems with Broodlords is they are very slow, and they have now to fly across the whole map in order to deal some damage. And the main base is still being attacked.
Oh no! He lost the Nidus network with a bunch of forces in it, and he didn't have a Nidus worm anywhere. All of those units died in the Nidus network. He just lost 30 or 40 supply in the Nidus network when it died, and now he's making one last desperate attempt at a counterattack for a base trade. But ladies and gentlemen, when there are siege tanks involved, you cannot trade very effectively. The Broodlords have a couple Vikings picking away at them, but the 1 Infestor is all the anti-air he has, and it is not going to be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, OGS Supernova has stopped the reign of terror from ZeNEX and has come out and thoroughly trounced this unorthodox strategy of ZeNEX Life as well. It looks as if oGs-TL is going to win the series after all very, very soon.
83 supply against 175 plus 3 armor, about to finish very soon. The last attempt of Life to end this game. The Fruit Lord supported by the Queen to actually grab the whole, across the whole map and are trying to do some damage, but 3 Thors are about to pop out as well as additional Vikings. ZeNEX Life is dying a slow death against OGS Supernova. His bases are all gone. There's nothing that he can do in order to win this game, as Terraplay is still on 3 bases, while Life lost everything in his arsenal.
I'll hand it to him. He got a lot farther into Supernova's base than I expected him to, that's for sure. But, yeah, just not enough. I mean, eventually he's going to overcome this. The last Brood Lord finally dies, and with it, any chance of doing some major damage. GG coming from Life. OGS Supernova has done it. He has come back from the brink of defeat and snatched a victory from the jaws of death. Supernova has succeeded, and oGs-TL has won the match and will be advancing to the quarterfinals of the Team League.
One happy follow. A lot of pressure. And ZeNEX, they did a lot better than I expected today.
Oh yeah.
You have to hand it to those guys. They really put up a valiant fight. This was quite the impressive performance.
We expected them to get completely rocked, and they brought it to an ace match. So, gotta hand it to ZeNEX. They are definitely a lot stronger than I expected them to be.
And the huge winner of today is Extreme, in my opinion.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. He just made a name for himself today, I think. Because that was an impressive run. Even though he ended up losing to Supernova, it couldn't quite, you know, get the almost all kill. He played extremely well, showed a really good play. Not perfect play, but he's got a lot of potential. If he cleans up some of the mistakes he's making, he has the possibility to be a really top-level Protoss player.
Yeah, he really made a name for himself today. This was quite the surprise. So Extreme did very, very well today, but in the end it was OGS, the team that took the clan war with 5-4, and a real nice clan war at that.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the recap of those results of what happened between the games today. Vines, surprisingly, taking out Line and June until he was shut down by Avenge. The STC beat Avenge, but then ZeNEX had his monster run through STC, Nada, and Finn, and put up a good fight against Supernova as well, but eventually lost to that 1-base versus 1-base combo. Supernova closed it out by beating Life at the end on Calm Before the Storm, and that's kind of an ironic name for the last map because that was the not Calm, and it was the end of a giant storm of awesome games that we've had all day today.
Yeah, a really nice clan war that we have, and said it before, OGS is advancing to the next round. I'm really looking forward to next week's games. It's going to be quite exciting today and yesterday have shown us very interesting matches, and I just love that the Team League and the dynamic within the Team League. This is really brilliant. I can't wait for next week's game to start.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And of course, we do have GLCell coming at you 5 days a week now that we're over the New Year's holiday. So we're going to be back with Code A on Monday. And I cannot wait to see Code A this season, man. It is going to be crazy. We have so many good players. We have so many good players knocked down from Code S to Code A now with the new system. We've got so many players coming up from Code B that have yet to be tested. That, you know, some of them we saw today. Who I'm really curious to see how these new players do, how the old players do, how everyone matches up. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a really, really high-level tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very, very exciting. And guys, once again, if you want to experience GOMTV and the GSL in HD, then make sure that you check out GOMTV/tickets. Check out our website, and yeah, there's obviously also a pass for the GSTL. So next week we have GSL, GSTL, and now we have
GSTL의 홍해점 최지원입니다.
Yep.
어제 첫 방송을 마치고 GSTL의 인기가 얼마나 대단한지 실감했는데요. 여러분들께서 보내주신 지적과 관심 정말 감사드리고요. 앞으로 더 열심히 하겠다는 생각을 했습니다. 자, 그럼 일단 오늘 인터뷰를 잘 해야겠죠?
Yeah, we're interviewing Supernova first here.
선수시네요. 김영진 선수, 정말 축하드립니다.
네, 정말 고맙습니다.
And he is of course the MVP.
오늘 MVP가 되실
why?
거라고 혹시 예상하셨나요?
아니요, 좀 제 차례가 올 것까지 예상 못 해가지고 전혀 뭐 예상하지 못했습니다. 네.
네, 예상 밖에 MVP가 되셔서 더욱 기쁘실 것 같아요.
So he didn't think that he was going to play today because he thought that the rest of his team would be able to take the clan war.
큰 활약을 보여주시지 못했던 걸로 알고 있어요. 오늘 제대로 마무리하셨어요. 더구나 또 마지막 세트를 마무리하셨는데 기분 정말 최고이실 것 같아요.
네, 일단 정말 좋고요. 제가 GSTL에서 별다른 활약이 없어서
How do you feel facing off the opponent?
섭섭했는데 이번 오늘 이렇게
Finishing off.
대장 역할을 잘 해서 저 스스로도 굉장히 뿌듯하고 앞으로 더 잘해야겠다는 생각이 많이 드네요.
네, 앞으로 더욱 좋은 경기 보여주실 거라고 믿고요. 지난 GSTL
So
조직
apparently
형식에서
he's aware that
무척
he's not doing
지루하다고
that well in
하셨는데
GSTL so far compared to
GSTL은
his one-on-one
어떠셨는지, 여전히
results
지루하셨는지 아니면
besides
신나셨는지
GSTL, but he was
궁금해요.
very happy that he was able to support his team today.
팀원들이 앞에서 일찍 끝내줄 거라고 예상해서 빨리 갈 줄 알았는데 제 차례까지 오더라고요. 좀 기다리는 좀 지루했는데 이렇게 그래도 이기게 돼서 굉장히 다행이라고 생각합니다.
He said when they were ahead, he thought they were going to go home early, but ended up taking a lot longer than he thought.
자, 그리고 마지막으로 끝까지 마음고생하셨을 것 같은데요. 박상익 감독님, 웃었다 울었다를 반복하셨을 것 같아요. 오늘 이기셨습니다. 기분
Now we're going to
어떠세요?
interview OGS The Wind, the head coach of
좋아하는 게
OGS,
맞는 건데 솔직히 그닥 기분은 좋진 않네요.
former GSL competitor in his own right.
네, 앞으로는
He
기본
says even though they won today, he didn't think that they did that well, so he's not too happy.
팬분들께 한마디 해주시기를 바랍니다.
오늘 보여준 저희 테란 라인이 오늘 좀 무기력하게 많이 졌던 것 같아요. 저희 팀 실력이 이게 다가 아니니까 꼭 다음번엔 더 잘 준비해서
He says that the Terran players on his team are better than they showed today, and so in the future they're going to show better games.
두 번째 본선 직행팀이 된 oGs-TL의 김영진 선수와 박상익 감독님 만나봤습니다. 여러분들 즐거운 주말, 행복한 주말 되시고요. 저는 다음 주 금요일 날 다시 찾아뵙도록
Alright,
하겠습니다.
and I think we could probably agree with that a lot of the players that we saw today were capable of much more. We saw mistakes made by the STC, by OGS Finn, and it cost them. So hopefully we will see more from them in the future, better games, and the competition is only going to increase. ZeNEX has a relatively untested lineup, a lot of newer players that obviously were able to do just fine, but whoever OGS plays in the next round is possibly going to be an even bigger challenge.
Yeah, definitely. And we have a quick look at next week's matches, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to be...
There we go. FXO is going to play versus Slayers, and ZeNEX is going to be playing versus oGs-TL. Well, that was today. Never mind.
This week.
I'm sorry. FXO versus ZeNEX. So that's the consolation match, and the winner of that will still get to go on to the round of 8. The loser will be completely out. And of course, next week we're going to have Hosa versus StarTale and TSL versus IM. And that will play out the same way. The winners of those advance, the losers of those will play in week 3 consolation match for a chance at the round of 8.
Two pretty intense clan wars. I'm actually looking forward to them. That's going to be
pretty good.
Really nice, and we will be casting on Friday and Saturday again. So
yes, indeed. And remember, Saturday's casts are going to be at 2:10 p.m. Korean time, 4 hours earlier than the normal time, as happened today. I had a lot of people that didn't know about that. Luckily, I tweeted about that earlier, and people were like, "Oh, it's going on in an hour? Oh, okay, well." So make sure you tell everyone you know that might be interested in that next Saturday. It's going to be a little bit earlier on the weekend.
yeah, it is, and yeah. So that actually is, I think, pretty good for the American viewers in order to catch the games live. It's a little bit...
Yeah, it's a lot better.
And we have a quick look at next week's Code A.
I think. Oh, yep. There we go. Next week's Code A matches. Sen, unfortunately, didn't advance in Code S. He's going to be down in Code A versus I Am True. Idra's going to be playing against Avenge, who we saw today. July versus June, who we saw today. And Huck versus Bumblebee Prime.
That's right.
Who will be coming into the studio wearing a yellow and black suit with stripes and antennas. Not really. Anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Any last thoughts, Keldor?
No, not really. I'm actually excited about next week's team matches and obviously going to watch Code A before the first war on Friday.
Hope you enjoyed it. See you next week.